Afelumo Rotimi is a dedicated edtech enthusiast with 11 years of well-rounded professional experience in educational technology and integration in international schools. As the head of Group Information Technology at Raffles Education Corporation in Singapore, he oversees the implementation and management of IT systems across the organization. His expertise spans Google Admin, Microsoft 360 Admin, robotics and coding, where he excels in enhancing learning and experiences and driving technological advancement in education. With a strong background in tech coaching, Mr. Rotimi mentors educators and students, helping them leverage technology for better educational outcomes. His role involves continuous exploration and integration of innovative tech solutions, ensuring that Raffles Education Corporation stays at the forefront of educational technology. He holds a degree from Bayero University, Kano, which laid the foundation for his career in EdTech. His commitment to professional growth and passion for technology makes him a valuable leader in the field of educational technology. TETC, together, let's welcome Afelumo Rotimi Abiodun.
All right, so I'll be taking the next session, which is a follow-up on where you are not stopped. I'm just going to share my screen now, and if you please let me know when if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right, let's see, is this my presentation? This is not it. So let me just pull up my presentation, then we can continue. Sorry, productivity. Okay, that's part 2. Sorry. All right, so thank you very much for all those that have stayed with us all this while. We're going into the last session for the morning session, and then we'll go on break and then be back by 1 p.m. So I'll try as much as possible to just finish before 12:30 and maybe finish by 12:15, and then we can take some question and answers. So we've looked at part 1 of productivity boosting app, and then we're just going to take the part 2, and then I'll move on. Again, I won't focus too much on the slides because it's supposed to be hands-on. So tools are not meant to replace teacher, like we've said, but to empower them. And that is what we want to look into, some other tools that we can leverage on as we go into the practical session. So Yano has talked about ChatGPT, but there are other ones that are built on large language models like ChatGPT, major companies, and they do almost the same thing like ChatGPT. So most of the prompting and all of those text and coding and text-based prompts that it showed us, you can use them on Perplexity, Copilot, Cloud, Gemini, and Poe. And I will just run through at least a few of these, and hopefully I can get through all of them. So whatever Yano have said, we can apply them in principle across all of these platforms. So we won't need to go through ChatGPT anymore, but we'll just go through Poe, Gemini. Gemini is owned by Google. Notebook LM is also owned by Google. The Microsoft Copilot is Microsoft's owned AI. Then there's Perplexity is also another AI that is built on large language model. Facebook also has its own. There are a couple of those ones outside there that are built on huge public data owned by very big companies. So we'll be looking at, I'll start first with Poe, then go to Gemini, Perplexity, Copilot, Claude. There won't be so much to explore in all of those, but just to highlight that they are there. Some of them have their very special features that differentiates them from others. So, but before I go ahead, let me also say something about prompting. So there is what is called this is one of the graphics produced to just categorize how we do prompting. It's called create. The first one talks about context. So the first one talks about content and context, the situation or environment in which the prompt is given. Provide background information that will help the chatbot complete the task. So you have to tell it, okay, it's a science class, for example, or so just provide the context so it knows the area that you are focusing on. And as mentioned earlier, the more specific you get, the better the result that you will be able to pull out of it. The more specific, the better the result. Role is critical for you to get the AI to assume a role. So it's more like role playing. This is the role you want the AI bot to take on. If you had access to anyone in the world to complete this task, who would you like to help you? So I want to create a lesson plan. Then you can say, you are an expert grade 6 teacher, and you need to teach this course. Can you produce a lesson plan? So you need to put it into a role. You need to know the context. You need to put it into a role. Then you need to provide also specific example. These are the benefits of some of these AI tools that we went through earlier, in that they've already built in the prompt engineering for you. By the time you select grade 5, you're already telling it the context in terms of the student. Then you put in grade 5 teacher. Then you already provided a role. And then you are putting the task. When you say grade 5 student, you already put in the audience, then the task, and then what it should evaluate. So example provides specific example or a clear description of the desired style and tone, e.g. mirror the tone in the paragraph I have provided. Here, you don't, in most of these tools, that like I showed you, you don't have to write it. The tones are already there. I want it to be official. I want it to be humorous. I want it to be playful. So those are the tools. And that's why some of those tools, especially for teachers, some of those tools are better off than the general purpose generative AI, because they are built for general purpose. And that's why you have to know some of the engineering terms or some of the scripting codes to use to get them to provide you the necessary information that you need, whereas some of these tools already have them. You need to also be clear with the task. Start the task with a verb. The task is the specific request you are making to the chatbot. Example, generate 5 lesson plans for a unit on mapping. So generate is the word. You are not just going to say 5 lesson plans. You should tell it what it needs to do, not what it should not do. Like Yano mentioned, tell the Gen AI what you need it to do, not what you don't want it to do. Check the output to make sure it is accurate. This is very, very important, that we don't surrender everything to AI. Just like you will not surrender your life to your assistant or your tasks to your assistant. AI is our assistant. You don't surrender everything to it. You proofread what you have said. You check the sources, especially for those of those tools that provides you with sources, which we're going to look into. You have to verify the sources. I think that's the end of my slide. Then we'll just go into, let me see. We'll just go into practicals now. All right, let me close all of these ones that we practiced with earlier on. All right, so let me bring ChatGPT up. I want to first highlight a few things with ChatGPT. Now, in case you don't know, there's this option in ChatGPT called, I don't know. There's this option in ChatGPT called Explore GPTs. If you click on it, these are what you will call different GPTs or apps that people created leveraging on the model of ChatGPT. Just like you have apps in the Play Store or in the Google App Store or in the Apple App Store. So these are all GPTs that people created, developers developed. So as educators also, you can come in here and find a lot of task-specific GPTs. So these GPTs, they've narrowed down what they can do and what they are doing. And so because of the because of their focused role and responsibility, they are leveraging the large language model of OpenAI to provide you with those specific instructions, just like School AI and the rest. So here you can see productivity tools, Canva, video. I think you can also see research and analysis. So for some of us that are into research, you can come here. If ChatGPT isn't giving you if you don't know how to do all of those engineering things that you are not sure to us, you can leverage these GPTs. For example, Excel GPT. You open that one, you can play around with Excel. Maths GPTs, there are some that are education. So look through this, you'll be able to see many more GPT that are task specific, and you can leverage on that. Write for me. So there's also those that are for programmers. So you can explore this. I just wanted to highlight this to us that within ChatGPT, there are apps that you can also leverage on and use more effectively. There's one that I used before. This one is called Presentation, and you can use it to create slides directly here, and it will create the slides for you and put images and all of that. So that's a good example. So you can check that out for those of us that are familiar with ChatGPT. So I'm just going to move that out of the way, and then we'll continue with the other things that. All right. So we first go to let me start with see. All right, we've done ChatGPT. Let me start with POE, Poe. I like Poe because Poe provides you with one stop platform to access all other AI models. So from Poe, you can choose which of the AI models you want to use, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude or DALL-E or OpenAI, any of that. So it pulls all of those, it leverages all of those AI, LLM, large language models to produce your answer. So you can select which one you want. It's as simple as the same thing. You click on your Google account if you have a Google account, or you can sign in directly with another email. So that's just the simple step of signing in. Let it come up. So okay, so you see, if I want to start any chart, I can decide which of the bots I want. Is it Cloud, which is an LLM on its own that we would also look at. Let me just open it here. Then there is Perplexity, and then there is Gemini, and then there's Copilot. So, so all of this, you just need to log in or provide your username and password. So for Pro, I can decide, I can write the same prompt and use Claude to generate the answer. Then write the same prompt and use ChatGPT to generate the answer. And then write the same prompt and assign it to Gemini. And then I can compare the three. And one of the tools that I will show before the end of this session is a tool you can use to now aggregate all of that together. So let's just let's just create a lesson plan. So this I'm using this. I just created this. So if I go back to explore all my charts, it shows me that I use the poll assistant to do this. I can go back again. Um, so I'll choose Claude. I want to use Claude this time around. I'll create the same thing with Claude, and then I'll generate. So you see it's using Claude to generate it. I can keep that aside and then still go back and use, maybe I want to use ChatGPT 4. I want to generate the same thing. So that's one of the reasons why I like to use Pro, so that I don't have to jump from one app to the other. I'm using this single app and I'm leveraging those three other places. So I'm just going to take these three. So this is one good thing about Pro. And also another thing is that, like ChatGPT also, there's a community and people are building you also are building bots. You also can build your own bot and monetize it, and people can use the bot. So there's a huge community around this too, so you can create your bots yourself. I know a school that created a bot that answers questions on their website using Pool. I think let me bring my original account out and show you from there. Let me see. There's a school. I think I can't find it. So you can create a bot and make it do whatever you need to do. You can provide all the resources that you want that bot to leverage on. Unlike the normal bots that you see on websites that are already, the answers have already been pre-programmed. When you get to a point, it will tell you to contact support because it can't provide any other response. But with AI bots, there can be an engagement. It won't just be by predefined responses. So you can create your own bot, put all your own resources into it, and people can ask it any question about your organization, your school, or anything. So that's a good example of the use cases in Pool. But I really like it because I can, from it, look into different other language models and compare the content that I get from them. And that's the best way to use AI also, because you are comparing two places and that you're able to now aggregate their thoughts together to produce whatever you want. Anthropic Claude also is almost the same thing. You just sign in with you log in, you register with your Google account. One of their feature that I like is called projects. you can work on a project. Validation field. If this doesn't work, I'll just go. Okay, this doesn't. Let me bring my 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 personal. So for Claude, is the same thing. You can write the same prompting. Everything we've learned today about prompting, you can also use in Claude. And it also, for projects, you would need to get the upgraded version, the paid version to use the project. For the project, you are able to pull all your resources together and then warehouse them in one place. And then the AI will reference those things to engage in whatever question you need to ask. It's good for research in that you are able to, especially what is called literature review, get all your literature resources and put them in that project, create a project folder and put them in it. And then you can begin to ask it to do things based on those documents that you provided. But that feature is part of the paid feature. But for me, I think this just works fine to do whatever it is that I want to do. So that's Cloud. Perplexity is one that I also like, especially for people doing research, because it provides you with sources. It provides your source at the top. This is just what is Flip Classroom. So it provides you with sources at the top, and you can verify those sources, whether they are true or not, vis-a-vis the content that it provides for you. Unfortunately, and then it also indexes it. You see, it puts 1, 2, 3, so that you know which source, and then you click on it, it opens on another browser for you. That's the beauty of Perplexity. And you can, especially those of us asking for the sake of research, this is a good one for us to use. Whatever you ask it, it looks online and provides you with the requisite references that it used. So you don't have to do all of those things that you are not told us to make sure it's using this reference. This provides you the references and you can verify. Again, verifying the content that AI generates for you is very critical in everything you do. Let me see which one is left. So that's Cloud, Pro, and then Perplexity. I want to spend more time on Notebook LM. Then the other one is Copilot. Microsoft Copilot is the same thing. It also integrates what is called Microsoft Designer, so you can generate content and generate graphics also. But everything is the same thing. If you are using and it's free also, you just need to have a Microsoft account, which you can open with your Gmail anyways, and you have access to. This is the Copilot, this is Designer. It allows you to design graphics. You can just type in whatever you want and you create realistic. Let's see what it is. The photorealistic image of a futuristic. Oh, I wanted to say Oshodi Market. Uh, um, design. Sorry, this is sorry, it's not design. Okay, it's generating it. I wanted to say Oshodi Market. I said Ashodi Market. It might just generate something unnecessary. Okay. Oh, it looks like So that's Microsoft Copilot because they already have an AI-driven image generator, and they integrated it with their AI chatbot. So it gives you that flexibility to easily switch between the Copilot and then so there's also cooking assistant, fitness trainer, and all of that. So that's Copilot. So we've done ChatGPT Pro, Claude, Copilot, which one is remaining? Okay, Gemini is Google, it's the same thing. Google Gemini. So I think what I would advise is if you are using this, just make sure that you balance out what you have on both sides, and then you are able to. There's something wrong. It's not allowing this count, but let me pull up my own. So you see, it's the same interface. You just put your prompt. You can also attach image. Good thing about most of these platform is you can also do voice to text and text to speech and speech to text. If you have the app on your phone, you can speak to it directly and it will respond to you. If you want it to speak back, his responses also, you can do that. So most of them already have that feature. So you're not limited by whether you have a device or not. Your hand phone is a good place to start. Finally, for this session, because I think we have 15 minutes more, I just want to do, I want to show us Notebook LM. That's one of the tools that I also use very, very well because it creates a platform for you to bring all your resources, aggregate all the resources, especially for researchers. You're working or people writing their projects, or even if you're a curriculum developer, you are developing curriculum, and you have so many materials. You can put them together in one place, and then put them under a notebook in Google Notebook LM, and then the AI will only be limited to those resources that you provide. It will not reference anything out of that resource as to be able to begin to, so you're not worried about references anymore because you curated those materials and you have put them in one place. You have verified the sources, you know these are the sources you want to use. So you are not concerned whether the AI will hallucinate anymore or provide you with wrong references because you gathered the material in one place. So, and it's really very, very powerful. So you just create, I have different notebooks created, and let me go back. So for some of my presentation, I put all my resources together and I have them in different notebooks. So to start, you just create a notebook, and then you see, the first thing you need to do is add resources. So if you have documents in your OneDrive, if it's a PDF, if it is a text file, let's say, for example, you've even done some part of your, so this is attaching documents, so you can attach documents to it. Copied text is text that you copied from somewhere. Let's say you've even started your literature review, or you've even done your literature review, or you've done your project. You can copy it as a text or a part of it and dump it here, and then begin to engage the AI to maybe bring out some points, however you want to engage. So you can copy and paste the text here. You can add, so you can also copy a URL. If it's a website, you can copy a URL and put it there, and then you can copy a file and also dump it in there. So all of those resources, you can pull them together. And then when you pull them together, let's go to one example that I had. So let's say, see invention of the light bulb. I click on it. You see all the materials are here. Then when I say notebook guide, as you put the materials there, it would begin to aggregate all those materials together and provide you a guide, a simple guide on a summary of all the materials and everything that is in that material. It's a broad summary of those materials. And immediately I can say, okay, I want a briefing document. I want you to brief me on all of these documents. So whether you're in a corporate world or you're a teacher or you're a researcher or you're a student, this is really very useful. For example, as a corporate person, you have a lot of minutes of a meeting and all of that, or documents to read through before you go to a meeting. You can pull all of them here and engage with it and begin to look for key notes or key points that you want to highlight. And then the AI does that for you. So I can say, okay, I want a briefing document. Um, this is because I didn't create this one. Let me just go to one that I put resources into. So this is one that I put resources into. I didn't prepare any resource to upload, but this is one that I put resources into. So I can click on the notebook guide. It provides me with summary. I can say, okay, generate a study guide from me, and then it begins to generate it and puts it in one place. I can also go again and say, generate a timeline for me. So it begins to do all of that. These are some specific things that it can do by default that they already put there. But you can also ask it suggested question. Any of these things that you are doing, the AI is only referencing all the materials that you have in. Let's say, for example, I want to remove only 2 materials. I want to reference only 3 materials in the next conversation I want to have. The moment you see here updated, I'm only using 3 sources. So any conversation I have now with this chat or any of these things that I click on, it will work based on these 3 documents. So that gives you the flexibility to move things around the way you want. I think this is also a good tool. One good thing also is within your conversation with the tool, it begins to provide you even references to where it picked those things from. So let me click this out. Let's go to this one. There's one that I did that has reference, and you're able to click on it. Let's look at the guide. Okay, so you can see, did I copy? Trying to find, it provided 1, 2, 3 the sources of the book, and then you can open it directly. I think this one is messed up. I can't seem to see it. Let me try another. Previously, it provided me with the sources of, it will reference those materials that he used and what section of the material he used. It did that in one of my. I'm sorry that didn't work, but I've seen it do that while I was preparing for some other things. I don't just know why it's not working now. So one more benefit to this is you can also share it with people. So if you are collaborating, you can, I'm the owner, for example, I can give people access and I can determine the kind of access I want to give them. Is it view only, editor? And once they are done, I can revoke. So this provides you the opportunity to also collaborate and work together with colleagues and friends. So all of these tools are available. They are all free. But I think for those that are doing research and all, and that are doing researches or building things or writing research papers or working on projects, they can leverage on Notebook LM to pull all their resources together. You can leverage on Perplexity to verify your sources. Copilot also provides sources. I've seen that a lot. I think we just end this here. I just wanted to run us through some of these tools that works alongside ChatGPT so that you see that you can leverage all of them at the same time and pull your resources together and be able to compare notes between two AI so that you can get the best out of it. We'll just open it up for questions and then we go on break and then come back for the afternoon session. So are there questions that we're looking at? If we have questions, then let's take those questions. So any question? Do we have any question? All right. If there are no questions, okay, I think there's a new post. Yeah, this is the screen I am on. I just wanted to find out if we have questions. I'm using another screen to check for questions if we have questions. Yes, to use Notebook LLM, your resources must be inside. You cannot use it without resources. If you open any one, it will ask you save Notebook, okay, it will ask for resources. So this is good for people that are doing research. If you want, or people that are writing books, if you just have a lot of things you're working on, ideas you're working on, you can put them all here and be able to plan them out, add notes accordingly, and put more resources. So I think you can put 20 resources from what I've learned, because it's still, if you can see at the top here, it's still showing experimental. So they are still developing it, but it's a very powerful tool. They released it, I think, about 2 months ago, if I'm not mistaken. So you can have at least, I think, about 20 sources. Okay.
Hello.
Okay, so somebody's that, yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I used to I used Gamma some time ago, and I used it for a while, and then suddenly it started asking me that I needed to have some coins to still be able to use it. So my question is, are there other free AIs for PowerPoint presentations like Gamma?
Yeah. We had looked at, if I don't know if you missed out on the first session, we had looked at Brisk. The PowerPoint slides will go out. You can see, so Brisk is you can use it to generate PowerPoint presentation, School AI, Magic AI, all the tools that we used, that we profiled during my first session today. You can produce PowerPoints directly from there with the free license. There is no token. It's not token based. So I know some AI app are token based. You have limits that you can do a day. Some of these ones are not. And then I also showed us GPT, ChatGPT, Explore GPT. You will see PowerPoint presentation in some of this. And
Wow.
so you can see, if you go to Explore GPTs, you can search for PowerPoint, and I think you should be able to find a couple more that will be able to do, see PowerPoint, Slide Maker, PowerPoint. So there are a lot of them, and they are free, so you can use them.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, somebody is asking, Please, sir, can you go over to Copilot? How do you generate the market size you did? Thank you. Okay. Can we use this AI text, AI for Arabic text? So I think you just need to check if they have Arabic language. Some of them do have different languages, like School AI that we tried out earlier. I think a few of them have okay, so we use, let me see defeat. I'll go to a few of them. I have Arabic. We're just going to try it now and see if it does have Arabic. See, there's translate. So let me see if there's Arabic. All right, there's Arabic. So I'm going to translate this text in Arabic. So I'll just translate the summary. I'll just translate the summary in Arabic. Let's see how it looks. If it's going to do it, and then you check if it's correct. So some of them have inbuilt languages. Okay, so this one, you can see it came out in Arabic. I don't know if that is correct, but again, it's our responsibility to check. So if the language model has Arabic, then it can translate whatever you want into Arabic, which is what it just did. Okay, somebody asked about Copilot. Let me switch over to Copilot, and you're asking how I generated that image of the market. So it still boils down to prompting. You have to know exactly what you want. So when you log into Copilot, I'm using let me see if it's my corporate account. And I think it's my public account. So you click on designer, and then I just say photo realistic image of Kano market. I grew up in Kano. Let me see if it will allow me to say Savongeri. All right, so Savongeri market in Kano. Let's see what it shows. All right, so yeah, I think we have to call it. We have to go on break now so that we keep to our time, because we have people joining us from different parts of the world. So after this, we're going to leave the meeting running. There's going to be a countdown timer. So this is its own way of demonstrating Kano market. Oh, Sabon Gari. So yeah, that's how you generate image. You have to be specific, telling what you want, give it specific instructions, and it will try to produce as much as possible. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. We would be back by 1 p.m. and then have another session.